Hey you guys, it's Debbie from My Vagabond Style, and I'm here today with the Marguerite Miller Collage Challenge, and it's week 51. So we only have this week and next week for 2023. So I'm excited to bring you this one. It's a little different than a lot of the ones that I do. This one is inspired again by Violet Davenport. This was not, I don't believe this was her original. You can see it on my phone right there. I don't believe this was one of hers, but this is her style for sure. And I just thought I would use the cup of coffee and put the prompts in the cup of coffee. So I'm just sketching it out right now. I am not the best artist, just sketch artist. I am not. But I figured a coffee cup I could probably handle. So I worked with it a bit. I did have to erase here and there and to make it look exactly the way I wanted. But in the end, I did succeed and I felt comfortable with my drawing. I ended up working on this over the course of 2 days, so I had a lot of footage to go through and edit. So I decided I for sure needed to do a voiceover on this for you guys. I know it's not optimal, but for this particular collage, I really had to do it. I made 2 copies of the original. Didn't really care whether they were horizontal or not. Didn't make any difference. I just needed 2 copies. And I decided I wanted to make the coffee cup blue. So I went in search of my magazines looking for anything blue that I could add in, also keeping in mind the different prompts. I do believe that if I had not been looking for prompts as well, I would have been able to find the blue a lot easier. But keeping in mind the prompts, it was just a little more challenging. But that's okay. That's just how it is, right? So I'm just, again, trying to find all the blue. Once I found the blue, I moved on. And here's some, I'm just going to kind of briefly show you some of the ones that I found. That is a brochure there, and I wanted to be sure and add some of it in because that was part of the prompt. One of the prompts was something from a brochure. And then I decided to go ahead and just collage it all down. And I need enough to do the cup, and I'm going to do the saucer a different color, but I do need enough to make the cup. Here I really like this. I like the little people inside there, and I thought I'm going to add the little people inside the airplane, the little passengers. And then as you see, there's Jesus right there. I have that up there by my right hand. And then I've got a motorcycle in there, some other fun things. Once I got that, I cut the coffee cup out, so it was just the coffee cup, and I'm going to collage in the coffee portion now. For this, I used a lot of wood grain. There was also a cookie, no, not a cookie, it was a pound cake. I used a pound cake in there. Also some like sludge from a National Geographic on some like muddy area, which was kind of fun. And then in the interest of time, I'm just kind of showing you bits and pieces of that. That's part of the pound cake right there. And you can see the texture. I wasn't too worried about the curve on the top because I knew I was going to go over that with some of the blue collage. So I'm just trying to fill the space with the coffee. And on that end, again, not too worried about the edge because the rim of the cup will go around it. So that was a little forgiving, which was nice. And here I'm just starting to cut out some of the other pieces. I need that top portion there of the blue of the coffee cup. So I'm going to cut that out and collage that portion. I probably could have sped this up, but I know a lot of you guys don't like it when we speed things up. So for this, I'm just going to kind of chat through it. I did another collage week 49 with using this same technique. So if you'd like to see that, I do have a playlist of all of my Margarete Miller for this year, so check that out. If you're not familiar where the playlists are, just go on my main page and it'll show like videos, lives, playlist. So check there for that. Once I get this cut out, I'm going to use the blue collaged piece of paper that we did a minute ago. And I'm going to put that right in that same, oops, I need to go up higher. There you go. I need to glue that onto it. And then I'm going to cut it out. So that piece will have some nice sharp edges. Now, I don't know if this is the way that everybody would do this, but it's just the way that I did it. There's no instruction on this that I could find anywhere. I did find there's some classes on it, but you have to pay for those. So this is my attempt. Here we go again. This is the other bottom part of the cup. I'm just cutting that out. I thought it was easier to kind of draw a line on it. I've already glued the top part on. It's starting to look like a coffee cup now. And then I wasn't sure what I wanted to do here for the rim. I glued it onto this piece of paper, but to be honest with you, when I flip it around, I ended up doing it twice because this color I didn't find was exactly what I wanted. So I'll flip it around here in a second. Okay, see that? It's a different piece of paper. I ended up, like I said, doing it twice. I was happier with the light blue. Just trying to like line it up to see how it looks. I'm going to push it away there. And now I want to do that little lip on the bottom there. I'm using that same, this was actually the back of the catalog for the Tahiti vacation. So then I'll flip it over and cut that out. Sorry, a little dead time there. The voiceovers are not like my favorite thing. I find I struggle doing the voiceovers, but sometimes they're necessary just in the interest of time, because I know you don't want a 3-hour video. So there, I've glued that piece, again, not really caring about the upper portion because I know I'm going to lay the collage, there we go, right over the top of it. Just seeing how that lines up. The top portion, that rim will go over it. So again, forgiving. I'm sure there's a lot of other little tricks that I don't know yet. I think you do this enough times you would probably come up with some shortcuts. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's very relaxing, especially when you're finding the images and putting them on that collaged paper. So you can see the motorcycle, you can see Jesus right there. All right, so now I want to go ahead and tackle the saucer. And I thought, well, I need something a little bit different color. I wanted it not so busy. So I thought, well, we'll give it a yellow. Yellow and blue always looks good together. So I decided to go ahead and collage that with some yellow paper that I had already. And I liked this one because it had a little bit of shading. It has that darker kind of umber color with it and a little bit of the lighter color. So I thought, well, maybe I could use that to benefit me for shading. And I could see if you did this many times, you would get a lot better at the shading portion of it. But like I said, this is only my second one doing this. So you'll have to give me a little grace there. That was a fun piece of paper that I had there too. That was an old DC-8 ad. That's where I got those passengers out off the other side of it. And then this, I thought, you know what? I just want to cut some of that portion of that. I want to keep the airplane because I think I can use it for something else, but I just needed the yellow off the tail end there. You know, I love me some airplane. I can't help myself. Any of you guys decide to do this, I would absolutely love to see it. So if you have an Instagram, tag me on your Instagram account. If you don't and you just want to send me a picture, you can send it to myvagabondstyle@gmail.com. And I would love to see it. I just find this style of collage so interesting. You know, it looks like a complete and utter disaster. Like you have to trust the process and go through it because there was part of it, like when I first started, I'm like, is this even going to work? Like, ugh. And I think if I was doing this without the challenge, I would definitely just focus more on the coffee cup. Like in the end, you're going to see, you know, how I put it into a collage. But really, if if I had more time, I probably would have maybe like made stacking coffee cups or something like that and made it just one big picture. But I just didn't have any more days to work on this. So, like I said, I think if it was for myself and not necessarily the Margarete Miller challenge, this would be my focal point and that would be it. Like, that's enough, right? I think it turned out okay, but I'm just saying. So here's the little handle. I'm going to apply that. And I decided to put that on first because I wanted it to kind of go behind the actual rim of the coffee cup. Most of the time I've used glue stick on a lot of this, and I would use some sort of matte medium if I wasn't doing this for like to frame it and, you know, something special. But for what I was doing, I thought glue stick was fine and the art glitter glue worked great. So now the only thing left on the coffee cup is to put the rim on. And I worried about kind of when I applied this, if I didn't stick it on exactly right, that it wouldn't cover everything. So I did have to be a little careful when I laid that down, especially because I'm using art glitter glue, which we all know if you use this product that you don't have very much leeway in the time. You stick it down, you press it down, you're done. That's it. So the moment of truth here. Not too bad. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So now I'm just going to flip it over, cut that edge off, anything hanging over. There we go. Okay, you guys, here's the background. Just a magazine page, and I thought, okay, that looks pretty good. Looks like a morning cup of coffee. And I'm getting a little over zealous here because I do have one other element to put in, and I'll remember it here in a second. I'm like, this needs somebody looking into the coffee cup. Here he is, our man of the hour, handsome cowboy. So I thought, okay, he's going to stare. He looks like he's staring into that coffee cup, which is awesome. Like, what is that? Is that Jesus? I see Jesus. That would wake you up. So now I just need to figure out where I need him, because he has, from the knees down, he's gone. So I need to kind of hide him behind that cup a bit. There we go. So I am going to go over those prompts with you here. All right, so let's take a look at the prompts. So the first one is a portion of a brochure or a catalog. So this was my Tahiti catalog, and I ended up using this in a couple places. I used it on the rim right there, and then there is another place in there that I used it, but I don't think you can see it right there. Here's the motorcycle, and that's going to be something with holes, because I know there's a part on that motorcycle that has holes for sure. A famous person, well, there you know, it's Jesus. And then something sweet, we had the, right there is the, what am I showing you right here? We had the pound cake, and then of course a cup of coffee, and then I did not use the bonus, which was something from a calendar. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really did. It's nothing that if you don't have a lot of time and patience, you're not going to enjoy this, but I did enjoy the process. I hope you give it a try. I hope you look at Violet Davenport's Instagram account, and I know she has a website. So anyway, thanks for joining me, you guys, and I appreciate you coming back every week. I really do. I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.